All humans are different. In fact, some people aren't even human. Some people are French, and that is tragic. But being French is not the only known genetic mutation, and as it turns out, it's not even the strangest. Some people have unbreakable bones, or at least almost unbreakable. Bone density is regulated by the LRP5 gene, and a mutation in said gene can either cause your bones to be less dense, and therefore weaker than average, or more dense to the point of being ridiculous. It took decades for scientists to find the gene. Then in the late 90s they found a single family in the state of Connecticut who have extremely dense bones, and usually an especially large lower jaw. 20 members of that family donated blood to science, and while this did not reveal them to be aliens from a distant planet, it did show they have an LRP5 gene mutation. The mutation simply causes the gene to be more effective, assigning more calcium to bone growth. Still today, research is being done into how the mutation could be genetically engineered, so maybe all future children will one day have unbreakable bones. They might also have super strength, as there is another mutation that causes crazy muscle growth. Even without regular exercise, people with the mutation are naturally jacked, including children. Yes, they look like they've been raised on a diet of steroids and creatine, and yes, they probably punch drywall, but it's entirely natural. This particular mutation is associated with myostatin, a protein responsible for regulating tissue growth. In other words, it limits the amount of muscle your body can naturally produce. But in some incredibly rare cases, people are born with inhibited myostatin production. So with less guardrails, their body simply builds bigger and stronger muscles. Quite often, people with this mutation have double the muscle mass of the average human, without even lifting weights. They also have lower than average body fat, and best of all, there are no known negative health issues associated with the condition, so it's basically just a cheat code. It is known as muscular hypertrophy and is evident from birth, but not only in humans. Cattle are especially prone, with 7 known genetic mutations causing low myostatin production. And the thing is, cows are already pretty strong, so these guys look ready to be sent into battle. As you'd expect, scientists have long been developing gene editing techniques to inhibit myostatin, and in one experiment, mice were induced to have 4 times the muscle mass they otherwise would have. Believe it or not, some people are unable to feel pain. I'm speaking specifically about physical pain. Even they can't avoid the pain of embarrassment. Like that time I saw a man get headbutted by a horse. That was embarrassing. Known as congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP, it is incredibly rare and caused by mutations in the SCN9A gene, which regulates nerve impulses. In short, it prevents your brain from signaling when things go wrong. And the way the brain does that is through physical pain. So while a painless life might sound great, it's actually a huge disadvantage. If you go through life totally unaware of when things are going wrong in your body, well, bad things happen. The mutation is a curse, with minor health issues going unnoticed, often until far too late. As you can imagine, it's hard for affected children to learn what is unsafe, given their total indifference to being burnt or cut open. As a result, many with CIP die during childhood. Currently, there are 3 known genes which can cause the disorder, and in one experiment, mice were successfully given CIP. Just as in humans, the mice experienced no fear in the face of extreme heat or cold. As a result, treatments were discovered to relieve the symptoms of CIP, literally granting affected adults the ability to feel pain, which, if we're being honest, has really got to suck after a lifetime of numbness. In Southeast Asia, there is a totally unique tribe of people. They are the Bajau, and for thousands of years they have lived at sea. For food they dive and hunt deep underwater, and some spend more than half their day below the surface. As a result, they have adapted, evolved to be real-life fish people. And when I say real-life fish people, I mean they can hold their breath for a really long time. Having a bigger spleen than other humans, the Bajau make better use of oxygen while holding their breath, enabling them to stay underwater multiple times as long as we can. They spend very little time on land, preferring either boats or floating platforms, to the point they are stateless. No country in Southeast Asia claims them as citizens. Instead, they drift where the ocean takes them. But the main point is they are mutant fish people. One of the more visible genetic mutations is polyactyli, a ridiculous name for an only semi-ridiculous condition. It's actually the most common hand and foot defect, and simply means you have an extra finger or toe. Some even have more than one extra. For many it is a tiny nub without any bones, and only a hindrance to hand function, but in others it can be a fully movable finger or toe. The exact causes of polyactyli are unknown, but mutations in 39 genes are associated with the condition, one of which is literally called the sonic hedgehog gene. So that's weird. Many species of animal can have polyactyli, from horses to chickens, but it seems most common in cats. Similar mutations cause related conditions, such as ectrodactyly, where the hands or feet are typically split apart. It's a result of missing bones, causing the flesh to form into a claw-like shape. Luckily, ectrodactyly is much more rare, typically affecting just 1 in 90,000 people. Other mutations include super flexibility, photographic memory, and the ability to see shades of colours no one else can. But the one I'm most jealous of is the sleep gene. Most humans need 7 or 8 hours of sleep per night. Get any less and your body just won't function optimally, but a mutation in this gene cuts that requirement in half. People with it not only get by with just 4 hours of sleep, they thrive on it. It's thought they simply sleep more efficiently than we do, and when the gene mutation was introduced to mice with Alzheimer's disease, their health noticeably improved. So maybe less sleep really is somehow better.